Friends, welcome to my channel Sushant Chesswise. Today we are going to look at the middle game theme, the overloaded piece. Let us see what is an overloaded piece. An overloaded piece is the one which supports two or more things at a time. So let's go to the position quickly. See, white has got queen and rook versus black's queen, bishop and bishop. So what we see in this position, white's queen and rook both are active. They are trying to reach the back rank. Okay, and if the rook manages to reach e8 or the queen manages to reach c8, we can do a back rank mate. Okay, but we note that this bishop on d7 is defender of c8 and e8 both. Okay, so the bishop has become the overloaded piece over here. So white has now two approaches. So in overloaded piece, what we will do, either we will execute our plan at point A and then the point B will be undefended, or we will do it on point B and point A will be undefended. So these are the 2 points here. So white if goes rook e8 check first, then bishop takes e8 and the queen cannot give check. So white goes other way around here. Queen comes to c8, check. We see if the bishop is interposed, it will be taken. So bishop has to take the queen. Okay, and now the bishop is deflected over here and the rook enters e8 and see it has become a checkmate. So basically we are treating the overloaded piece as a defender and we will do whatever we do to a defender. So here we deflected the bishop. Let's look at next position. Let's look at the next position here. We see that white has a queen over here. Okay, well, it's not an extra queen. Rook for rook, and for the queen black has more than enough. Rook, bishop and bishop, okay, which is much more than the queen. Okay, but the problem here is the white queen is very active. It's attacking the pawn on h7, which is close to the king. Queen also attacks the rook on f8. We see that the d2 rook is attacking the d8 square. So if rook takes d8, then this rook will simply take the rook and the queen cannot reach anywhere near. So what white sees first, that the squares near the king, which is the weakness here. So the weakness is the h7 square. So how to identify weakness near the king? We see the point where we have an attack. Let's say if attacks and supports are more, then we can easily say where we have more attack, that is weakness. Suppose attack and supports are equal, the point where we can bring more attacks, that can become a weakness. So here white sees that he can bring one more attack on the h7 square. Okay. So first let us see who is the overloaded piece. If you look at this d8 rook, it is supporting f8. So queen into f8 could have been a mate, but it is defended by the d8 rook. And we also note that the rook on the d2 square, okay, it's on the open file. The rook on the open file likes the 7th rank. So this rook wants to reach the 7th rank to attack the weak square on h7. Okay, so white plays the first move, rook d7. And now we note that the d8 rook was actually overloaded, guarding the d7 square and the f8 rook. Now see, there are some serious problems. If rook takes the rook, then queen f8 is checkmate. Okay, and if black ignores it, let's say he just moves the rook away, then queen h7 is mate. And if he plays bishop to g7, then queen g7 is mate. So actually there is no decent way to support the h7 pawn. Black has just one move. He has to play g5. Now see, the e4 bishop is supporting h7. We can't mate on h7. We can't take the bishop on f6. And now white notes what? See, the bishop on f6 is guarded by the f8 rook. And the f8 rook is supporting the d8 rook. And what he sees, d8 rook is also supporting the f8 rook. So see, after the move rook d8, now see, suddenly there is overloading of both. If bishop takes d8, then queen f8 mate. And then he was forced to take rook d8, so the f8 rook was overloaded. And now after queen f6 check, king has to go to g8, then queen d8 check. And now we will see in most cases this bishop will also be lost. If king g7, then queen d4 check and the bishop is lost. So maybe black has to play king to f7, and this position we can say that easily white will win the game. Maybe it's possible to win this bishop also. White can try with QC7 check, or he can just take QG5 and white wins the game. So I hope you are understanding how to figure out the overloaded piece. Let's go to next example. Look at the next example, relatively an easy case. What we see here, that the white pieces are very active. See, knight on e5, bishop on c4, both are in the f7 square. So first defender, immediately we can spot this rook is the defender. So white has two attacks on f7 and black has two supports on the f7 square. So first we spotted the rook is the defender. Second, what we see, this rook is on the open file, so rook can capture the bishop. But the problem is then pawn takes the bishop. So what happens when the weaker players see that we are capturing a piece and our piece will be taken, they leave the calculation at that point. Okay. So what happens? They miss the opportunity. Okay. So what is the right technique of calculation? Whenever we are finding move and we look at any capture, always we should think of our move, then opponents, and then we have to look one more move for ourselves. And then if it is not working, then we can leave the calculation. So half move is called one ply. So only my move, suppose I am playing just say rook f5. So that is one ply. So at least we should look 3 plies deep and then only leave the calculation. Otherwise we might miss some option. When I will discuss technique of calculation and finding move, I will go into more detail about this. So what white noted here, after rook f5, gf5, now this rook becomes overloaded. See, the rook controls f7 and rook controls the h5 square. So white plays rook into f5. Now see, black is compelled to take the rook, otherwise he is just a piece down. Pawn takes the rook. If he doesn't take the rook, he is just winning. Okay, black is not taking the rook. Now what happens? This rook has become overloaded. So as I told you, we execute at 1 and then we win the other side, or we execute on point B and then we take on point A. So now what happens? The rook is guarding h5. So if we play bf7, then rook f7, then queen h5. That is one way of going about it. But then queen d5 supports the rook. Okay. So white goes other way around. Queen h5 check. Now see, rook has to take the queen. If rook interposes, queen takes it and mate. And when rook takes the queen, now see, no one is supporting f7. Then bishop f7, it has become a checkmate. So that is the basic concept. Find the defender. The defender is overloaded, we saw over here. We are deflecting it. Execute at 1 and capture the other one. Okay. Let's go to the next position here. Again here, like the previous position, the overloading can be felt on move 2. Okay. Let's see the white pieces quickly. The white rook, queen and the bishop, they are very active. When I say the piece is active, they are near the opponent's king or they are ahead on the rank. Okay. So here, see, rook can go to g5. Okay, it's controlling a square near the king. When the rook moves, this bishop will attack on the squares near the king. Queen also plays an important role. It's very much ahead. Okay, let's see what happens. So first, we see that these pieces are close to the king. Secondly, the black king has less space. When I say less space, I am thinking about the move rook g5 check, and then I see that the king has only one place on h6. So white calculates this line in his mind and he sees after rook g5, king h6, he is on the second ply and trying to find a move for himself. So which will be his third ply. So he notes that rook g5, kh6. See, I am playing on the board, but the player must have imagined this before playing the move, so that he ensures that he doesn't miss out on any opportunity. So what he must have seen here, now this bishop on d4 can do checkmate. See, bg7 checkmate. But this rook is the defender. And white also noted that queen f8 check is also made. Again the g8 rook is the defender. So what we did, we spotted the overloaded piece. The rook is the overloaded piece. Suppose we go bg7 check first, then rook g7, and we can't do any more checks because the queen d1 is there. Black can give up the queen and continue the game. So white did other way around. First queen f8 check. She is compelled to take the queen. If rook g7, then qg7 mates. Rook has to take f8 and then see bd4 checkmate. So what has happened here? White saw further. When he sacrificed the queen, that was just the first ply. Then second, and then he waited till third. If nothing would have happened on his third ply, white would have rejected the move queen f8 and seen something else. Okay, so this was about the concept of overloaded piece. Let's go to the next position. Let's look at the last position here. The queen and the knight are very active. They are close to the black king, and we see this pawn on f4 is controlling the important square g5. We note one more thing here, that black's queen and rook are very active. Black is threatening rook h1 mate, and whatever has to be done, white has to do it forcefully. So white starts with the first move, knight f5 check here. Okay, we did a small calculation. If pawn takes the knight, then queen f6 check. The queen had to take the knight with a check, because here there is no time. Rook h1 is mate. King has to go to h5 and queen g5 mates. This is one variation which he saw, okay, which was good calculation, we can say. But the second line was more complex, which happens to be our main calculation. So after knight f5 check, good move, black has king h5. Okay, so this position is very important. So the reason is I didn't keep this position here, because I wanted to show you how players are thinking in their games. Now what happens? Now we see that this king has no place. King can't go to h6, knight controls, king cannot go to g5, pawn is controlling, king cannot go to g4 because of the h3 pawn, and king cannot go to h4 again because of the f5 knight. So what we see, the king has no places. So this position we can solve in two ways. One, we look at sacrifice checks, as I told you, when the king has no place. Even better, we try to understand what is happening. See, the queen can go to h7 and give check, but this knight is the defender. And also we can see that g4 check is made, but g4, then knight into g4 is check. And after hg, king comes to g4. So there is no direct mate over there. So what white did? He went other way around. See, queen into h7 check. Now see, compelled to take, otherwise king has no place. So this knight was defender of g4 check. So now knight takes h7. And then see, g4 checkmate. So king was caught in a mating net, so he had no place to move. Okay, and this became checkmate. So what we noted here, how to understand what is an overloaded piece and what we can do to the overloaded piece. Okay, I hope you are enjoying these lessons. Do like, share and subscribe the channel. Thanks for your time.